Hey everyone and welcome back. Shane here. For today's lesson we're going to be learning how to play the song Charlie by the Red Hot Chili Peppers off the album Stadium Arcadium. So grab your guitar, get tuned, and let's get right down to business. Well, this song can basically be broken down into about 5 parts. We have our intro, our verse, our chorus, what I'll refer to as the main guitar riff, and then Frusciante does a real tasty little outro solo at the end that we'll talk about. We'll start where the song starts, and that's the intro, as you saw right there. All it is it's this diagonal shape on the 6th, 5th, and 4th string that's frets 1, 2, and 3, okay? We'll just do that. We'll move everything lighter a string, so still frets 1, 2, and 3, but now strings 5, 4, and 3. Just do that back to back for your intro. That'll take us right into our verse. Now the verse is actually pretty easy. It's a real funky little thing, though, and the timing could give you some issues. I'll try to give you some hints on that. All it is it's a piece of this G minor chord. And what we're going to be looking at is barring across the 3rd fret on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. The rhythm is about like... Now the bass line and the drums keep going on and doing their own thing, and it seems sometimes that this verse riff just floats around on top of them and it isn't always in time with them, but it all comes back around, and as you listen to the song, you realize that they do fit together very well. The only way that I manage to stay in time on this is after you do it once, I hit the neck of the guitar, you can stomp your foot or something. The point is you want to wait one beat and get right back into it every time. You'll want to hesitate sometimes, but you just jump right back in after one beat, okay? It's like this. Ready, and... And that's how he's going to play the verse throughout the entire song. For the second half of the verse, he's jumping up an octave, and you'll be barring across those same notes, but this time we'll be holding it at the 15th fret on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. And again, the rhythm is the exact same way. Ready, and... After you get through the verse, it's going to take you to what we're going to call the chorus, and the chorus corresponds with the lyrics, so much more than Charlie's waking with, so much more than Charlie's taking me, so on and so forth. And quickly let me play through it. It's like... Now on that, we're mostly going to be focusing on this D and G string here, okay? Our first two are 8-8, and then to 8-7, then to 10-10, and then back to 8-8. Now, Frusciante, he's really into chickas, which is fretting, hand muting, and then raking the strings. Sounds like chicka, chicka. You can check out my funk lesson for more in-depth discussion of that technique. Anyway, he'll be using that, and it may look like I'm hitting all the strings, but really all that are ringing are this D and G string here, okay? To end that chorus, we're going to go up and we're going to bar across 10 on the D, G, and B string, and then we'll be doing 10, 10, 8 on the G, B, and E string, okay? So the last bar of that chorus is going to be like... After the second chorus, we're going to come to the main guitar riff. It's just a pretty simple repeating phrase, and he really gets into it, and I think you should too. It's going to start with a D note, which is the 12th fret of the D string. I'm just going to walk through it real quick, then we'll talk about it. Slowly, it's 12 to 10, and on the D string, and on the A string, we're going to have 13, 12, and 10, okay? Now every second time you're going to walk back up through A sharp, which is the 13th fret of the A string. And that's the main riff of the song. Later in the song, for those last choruses, Frusciante's going to use that same riff, that main riff, and he's going to jump it up a couple octaves. It's the exact same notes, but this time it's going to start with a D note on the 10th fret of the high E string, and it goes like this. Now let's see if we can't go ahead and start breaking that lead guitar part down. He throws in several really interesting licks throughout the song, mostly at the end of the verses, and then of course that outro solo. He's mostly focusing on G minor pentatonic, box pattern number 4. I'm not going to discuss that much, but I will run through it descending really quickly. Okay. One phrase that I really like that you're going to hear is he's going to be trilling on the G string, frets 10 and 12. Walk up and do a bend on 13. Down to 11, pull off to 11, and then we'll go on the high E string at 13 and get a nice big bend. Make sure you really get through and dig in on those notes. Try to play them with a lot of passion, okay? Now that tasty little outro solo, it's going to start on the 12th fret of the G string, and then we're going to be pulling off to 10 and down to 12 on the D string. He puts a lot of nice, interesting licks in there. I'm going to play for it through you at a slightly reduced tempo, then we're going to break it down, and then I'm going to play along with the song so you can hear it in all its glory. See how it sounds like at full speed. Okay, now we're going to start that, like I said, on the 12th fret of the G string. We'll be pulling off to 10, and then we're going to go down to the 12th fret of the D string, and then right back up to that G note, 12th fret of the G string. The bends are going to be 13 bending up on the B string, and then releasing down to 11. We have a little descending run. Now this next lick is one of Frusciante's favorites. He peppers it in and out throughout a lot of his solos. It's going to be on the D string, 10 hammer 12, pull 10, slide down to 8. 4 notes all in a row together, getting equal amounts of time. Then this little phrase on the end starts to end the solo starts on the 10th fret of the A string. Now you're going to go ahead and end that song. He's going to go back to that main riff there. And that should basically take you through it. That's a general breakdown of the most important parts of the song Charlie by the Red Hot Chili Peppers off the album Stadium Arcadium. In the info I've included a link to a tab that I use to help me some and you may find helpful as well. As always, keep your guitar handy, keep it tuned, and keep rocking. My name is Shayne and I'll see you back here soon.